So this little art journal has been with me for almost 2.5 years now, and I finally finished it. I'm really proud of this one because I haven't finished a whole journal in years, and every page was such a joy to create. It's small, it's squishy, eclectic, and deeply personal, full of little pieces of my life and memories. Definitely one of my absolute favorites. So let me share a flip through of this treasure with you. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. Oh, I just love her so much. She barely closed. I remember when I put this sari silk on as a closure, it wrapped around so much easier than it does now. I mean, wow, talk about a gator mouth. I mean, actually, it's not that much of a gator mouth. Just enough to make it fun, actually. I wouldn't want more than this because this was already pretty challenging to work in. If you want to see the making of this journal, please see the playlist below. It was a struggle to make it because it was the first time ever that I made a little art journal, and I made this for an art retreat here in Vienna about 2.5 years ago. And the fabric that you see here on top was actually gifted to me by one of the fellow participants, dear Petra, and it had a dragonfly on it. And I would have never thought that these colors would match with my cover, but because they didn't, I loved it, which sounds really weird and is totally not me. But in the end, I just love it so much. I don't want to bore you with too many details, yet I do want to give you some context of some of the pages. So this is my title page. Very sentimental, obviously, to me is my parents are featured throughout this journal. Both of them, unfortunately, have deceased years ago. This particular page, the cover page, was a huge struggle and had at least one makeover because I just couldn't get it into a state that I actually loved it. But I'm so happy for the makeover because I absolutely love this so much. A lot of these pages have random collages on them, which is what I absolutely love to do. This here is a beautiful gift wrapping paper. Lots of little bits from different projects as well. For example, this one here is from ephemera. Was it 2023 maybe? Maybe. I don't even know. I love the variety of papers that I used in here. Again, I think this was from the same ephemera. I'm also super happy that I actually added some writing on quite a few of these pages, which is also something I don't always do. Or actually, I should say I rarely do. Again, these are my parents printed out on a transparency. As in all of my journals, I really love different textures. So this is fabric. This was a business card from that same event. This was one of the organizers and workshop leaders, Michelle. This tag serves as my bookmark and has an image of my mom, which of course I have altered, and I've given her dragonfly wings because obviously she's a mom of a dragonfly. The base is, as you can see from packaging, from watercolors. This is a bit of a paper bag from Egypt, where I go usually a couple of times a year. Then I stuck in here a little booklet. So one of the things that makes me so happy about this art journal is that I've also used a lot of bits that have been just laying around on my desk, little bits that I grabbed from here and there. Some of them even from my paper garbage, which I have on my desk here. And some of them have been in like these baskets with random paper objects in them. And some of these, like this little booklet, has been in here probably for almost 2 years. And it just makes me so happy. It is so satisfying to finally use some of these bits so randomly. In this journal, I did not pay attention to anything being cohesive because I wanted it to be such a mixture of everything, because that is what my creative life is like. I don't only do vintage, I don't only do contemporary, I mix things up. I love the combination of vintage and contemporary. So this is a representation of that. And in here I wrote a letter to my future self. So that will be fun to look at in a couple of years. In that playlist below where you can see how I made the art journal, I also show you how I decorated these pages here that you see. That was a lot of fun to do as well. Here again, just some random collaging, some bits from gift wrapping, some gold foil, a cutout of, I think, a printable. This is a mandala I made years and years ago. Unfortunately, I did not date a lot of these entries, which I now very much regret. So let that be a lesson to you, especially if it's one that you're going to keep working on for a longer time. Date your entries, because I think that makes it so much more special to see how long you've actually worked in it. This is one of my very, very favorite belly bands I think I ever made. It is nothing special actually. There's no special techniques here or anything. I think it's just the combination of the neutral vintage colors that I love so dearly. A random card tag. And again, you see here, this is vintage, and the back here is not vintage, and obviously it has a little bit of gold in there. So I just love these combinations. Here again is a photo of my mom. Love this one so much. And my mom was very much into sewing, so I love that we have a sewing pattern here. This little embellishment here on this pocket I made, I think, almost at the very beginning of my junk journal journey. So that would have been 2018, 2019. I have had it in my stash for so long, and I finally put it somewhere. Again, this makes me so happy. This is from one of my digitals, and I wrote something personal on the back. Some of the pages I left fairly minimal, and that is on purpose because I also don't like it when every page is filled up to the max. I like it when the eye has some space to breathe. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. This pocket, I remember, was very challenging because it is made out of like a waxed paper and it did not want to stick. In here are just some random tags and obviously a spine of a vintage book. This here is a stuck tag. This was part of the Art Journal Festival brochure, as far as I remember. Very simple collages. Some of these pages I have done on video. I will also link my uncut series below because I think some of the videos are in that particular playlist. This, for example, it's so random, but I love it because it is so random. So this was my dad on a belly band. See, there's nothing in this belly band yet. Okay, I will find something and stick something in here to complete this. Another beautiful artsy business card. Another little pocket here with some very vintage, like cigarette cards, I think they are. And all these bits you see here are from various things that have come into my life randomly. And that makes it so special. Again, this is one of those embellishments that I made at the very beginning. Inside here is a ticket for my hubby and myself for a beautiful cafe in Sharm el Sheikh in Egypt from this summer, from June. This is an old printable of mine, which I printed on a transparency, stitched on here by hand with a gold thread. Just this crazy background here. Love it so much. This is a little tag I received from dear Nadia from Art Alalai, who had once sold me a beautiful journal that I've worked in for a long time. This I made pretty recently in a video. It's an embellishment I made. This is the singer Sting, and I wanted to keep him in here because my BFF and I were at a live concert with him in July of this year, so that was super fun. I wanted to keep a memory of that in here. This is just a very random little tag. And on the back here, this is from July 2023, and I wrote, "I only made this little tag, and it makes me so happy." Also love this one. This is a tea bag. Such a random piece here. A very old printable, a sentiment here. A little personal note that I tucked in here in this little tuck spot, which I love a lot. I haven't made these kind of collaged tuck spots in a long time, and seeing this really makes me want to do more of these because I just love layering little bits, and in the end they're so unique, and I just love looking at these, and they have so much texture. You just want to stroke over them. So of course a little journal like this has lots of inspiration throughout the years that you make it, because your style changes and you learn new things. So it's great to look back on if you need some inspiration. Again, there's a little note tucked in here. Again, this is such a random collage, and I just love it. Like, I think a lot of these pages are not very special. Like, there's no incredible techniques on actually any of these pages. And yet, as a whole, I do think it's a work of art. Again, my parents here. This is kind of a weird one. I'm not sure how happy I am with this page, probably because of this color. This green is kind of weird, but I'm gonna just leave it. Again, my mom, I made this page on her birthday, which is in July. On some of these pages, I tried some new techniques, like on this one here. Again, my mom. I rarely put German in any of my journals, although that is my mother tongue. But I'm used to working and speaking and writing everything in English. So when I see a German sentiment, it kind of surprises me because it's something I really don't expect to see in my journals. Anyway, this says, "Du bist eine Inspiration," meaning you are an inspiration. So both of my parents passed before I ever started my YouTube channel, so neither of them know about it. But I know that especially my mom would have been very proud of how far I've come. I'm sure of that. This one here is a little fabric dragonfly. It kind of looks more like a butterfly, but it was supposed to be a dragonfly for a project, and then I decided not to use it, so I put her in here. Again, my dad. You see they are ever present in this journal, and this here is a pocket. Oh, and there's nothing in here. Yep, okay, so I have some space here to put something else. Again, this is just packaging paper. Another printable, nothing on here. This one, I'm sure some of you will recognize. This is from my dear friend Louise Heinzel. I love this, and it finally found its final forever home. So simple. Didn't even want to add a sentiment. I love this. The black and white vintage image and this very loud contemporary background. Fun tabs, always welcome. This is a bit from the Art Journal Festival, one of the participants. So that was in Vienna 2023. This here is from a chocolate wrapper. Very random, tiny little collage. I also loved the different page sizes. I think that makes it so much more fun than if every page had the same size. This is from a printable as well. Look at this fun page tab. I was gifted these. This was one, and that was the other one. I think they are so adorable. This one I made very recently. As you can see here, it says August 2025. There is a dragonfly here made with a layered die cut, and it says, with brave wings she flies. And this is in relation to the retreat, which I'm currently on when you're watching this video. I'm, I think, in the final retreat as you watch this, if you're watching it when it is newly published. This one is very dear to me. Again, it's my mom. And I have a quote here. I think I got this from a magazine saying, "Deine Arbeit berührt mich," meaning your work touches me. And I absolutely know for sure that it would have if my mom would have known about it. Again, one of my printables. This is the page I changed. It looked completely different and I was never able to complete it because something didn't feel right. So I just switched it up, added this in the middle here, and added this tag with a personal note to myself on the back. Also from one of my recent kits here. I did want to add a bit of a lot of my kits here because I want to document what my kits looked like. Not by far, not all of them are in here, but at least some of them are represented. This says, "Du bist Künstlerin," meaning you are an artist. I love this page a lot here. Art is healing. Inside we have some affirmations, I would say. So this says, "I'm stronger than I think and wiser than I know. I create beauty and meaning with my hands and my voice." No special significance to this 89 here. This is also a very new one, super simple. You see here a negative of a die, and here I wrote, "I'm stronger than my doubts and braver than my fears. Every challenge I face is an opportunity to grow, and I trust myself to rise again and again." This one I left empty on purpose because I really like this background. I did not want to cover it up. Love the gold shimmer. Again, from one of my printables. Obviously, I adore all the sewing, all the hanging threads. I think that adds so much character. Again, this is one of the very new pages. This is again one of my printables. I'm filming this, of course, in advance because I will be traveling. So I'm filming this on August 29th. So this says August here, and it's kind of like strike through. And it says August, already a memory. This one I know we made together in a video. I wanted to add one of the little bags that I am giving out at the upcoming retreat. So I stuck that in this belly band. Such a random cute little page here with a random tag. I also love this little tuck spot here, which is really just a piece that I would have normally thrown away. This one again I left blank on purpose just because I think it's a fun page. Again, a printable, random collages. Nothing on this one. Again, my parents, right after they got married. I love this photo so much. It looks like a photo from Hollywood, I think. A random tag from the Art Journal Festival. Love this little leaf here, which was from a doily. Stenciling. One of my other favorite pages is this one here. Also super simple, super random. I do love this background a lot. It's very dramatic. And I made this using kind of like a play set and then spraying black acrylic spray through it. And I just adore the design and I love the drama of it. Here again, I wrote personal note to myself. Also really like this collage here. We have a belly band here with a photo of my mom who was typing on a manual typewriter. Yes, no computers. It's a journal here and something I wrote on the back. Best is yet to come. Again, my mom. This is again one of my very newest pages. a tag saying progress over perfection. In the back, I wrote, I choose progress over perfection every single day. Small steps, consistent effort, and self-compassion are the keys that move me forward. Another business card from one of the art journal participants. I so love this little pom-pom. I also got that on the retreat. It is so adorable. Here we have a tag. I create beauty and meaning with my hands and my voice. Another one of my older printables. Random tag here. Also wrote a little note to myself on the back of this tag. Again, my mom. This is also one of the very newest pages. Again, it's so minimalistic and I love it to bits. Every page I fill is proof that my story matters. My words, my thoughts, my creations, they are a reflection of the life I am courageously living. This was my name card from the art journal retreat. Some gift wrapping and a note to myself again. And finally, the last page. This was the sticker from the festival. And here is again a personal note. And there we are. It would make me so happy if you would let me know in the comments below whether you have a journal that makes you super happy to go through, to touch, to hold, and that you cherish like a treasure. Love you guys. Mwah! Mwah!